Few artists evolved as boldly and fearlessly as Henri Matisse. Across more than 6 decades, he transformed his work again and again, from traditional painting to the explosive color of Fauvism to some of the most iconic paper cutouts ever created. And yet, through every stylistic shift, his work always retained the same emotional vitality, confidence, elegance, and sense of joy. The purpose of this series isn't biographical. It's about exploring why certain artists continue to live on through time. Matisse is one such artist. Born in 1869 in France, he's widely considered the father of Fauvism, a movement defined by intensely vibrant, non-naturalistic colors, fierce brushwork, and simplified forms used to express emotion rather than reality. The name Fauvism was coined by a well-known art critic who attended a 1905 exhibition in Paris that included intensely colored paintings. When he saw them, he referred to the painters as les fauves, translated as wild beasts. From then on, the movement became known as Fauvism. Although Fauvism only lasted a few years, it helped lay the foundation of modern art. I love all of Matisse's stylistic periods because even though each is dramatically different from the others, there's always an extraordinary level of expressiveness. Matisse understood something profound about art. He realized that it didn't need to imitate reality in order to feel truthful. His art sought to capture emotion, rhythm, movement, mood, and spirit. His paintings often abandon realistic color entirely, yet somehow they feel more emotionally true than realism itself. One of the things I admire most about Matisse is his fearlessness. He stripped away unnecessary detail and reduced forms to their essence. His line drawings are a perfect example of this. To truly appreciate them, they need to be understood in historical context. In 1906, he was the first artist to create spontaneous drawings using pure, continuous fluid contours without traditional shading or hatching. This style was revolutionary at the time. Picasso did develop a similar style, but he didn't begin until about a decade later. For Matisse, drawing was an act of revelation. In many ways, Matisse proved that simplicity can be more powerful than complexity. In his final years, Matisse reinvented himself again. After surviving a near-fatal surgery in 1941, his mobility became severely restricted. Confined largely to a chair or bed, many artists might have stopped working altogether. Instead, Matisse adapted and created an entirely new artistic language. He developed what he called his drawing with scissors technique. Using sheets of paper painted with vibrant gouache colors, he cut shapes directly into the paper and arranged them into vibrant compositions full of life. These works began on a relatively small scale, but eventually expanded into enormous wall-size environments that occupied entire rooms. One of the most famous examples appears in his 1947 illustrated book entitled Jazz. The most iconic images from that book are Icarus and the fall of Icarus, the latter depicting the tragic Greek mythological figure falling through a luminous blue sky surrounded by exploding yellow stars with a vivid red shape symbolizing his beating heart. Matisse created all the artwork for Jazz from hand-painted cutouts that were transformed into stencil prints called pochoirs. It uses multiple precisely hand-cut stencils. Paint is applied by hand using brushes or sponges, which means no two prints are completely identical. What I find so inspiring about Matisse is that he never stopped evolving. He continued simplifying, refining, and distilling his art down to the purest emotional essence. Henri Matisse didn't merely paint what he saw, he painted what he felt. And throughout that, he changed the language of modern art forever. If you found any of this interesting, please click like and consider subscribing. I'll be examining more artists and other creative people whose work has impacted our world for the better. This is Marty. Thanks for watching, and remember to be safe and be kind. See you next time.